"Hello, Grace," said Belle as the two women passed their table. "Hello, Big." Grace smiled. "Good game?" she asked. "It's not looking good for me," Belle replied, "but I'm not very good at bridge." "Oh, really, Belle Bartlett, you're just fine," chided Evelyn, tossing Grace a smile and scrutinizing her for signs of shame. "She's just being modest. Where would you like to sit, Grace?" Big asked, striding past the four women without so much as a nod. They shrank into their chairs guiltily. Big seemed to have an almost psychic sense when it came to unpleasantness, and she narrowed her eyes knowingly and struck the shiny wooden floorboards with her walking stick, without any concern for the noise it made. "Let's sit outside if it's not too windy for you, Big," Grace replied. Big chuckled. "Not at all. If there was a hurricane, I'd be the last person standing." They walked through the double doors onto a wide veranda which overlooked the ocean. Small boats cut through the waves like swans, and a pair of black dogs frolicked about the dunes, while their master strolled slowly up the beach. The evening sun was low in the sky, turning the sand a pinkish hue, and an oyster catcher pecked at the remains of a fish with his bright orange beak. Grace chose a table nearest the edge of the veranda, against the balustrade, and pulled out a wicker chair for Big. The old woman handed Grace her stick, then fell onto the cushion with a loud whoosh. A few wisps of grey hair fell away from her bun and flapped against the back of her neck like feathers. "There, the hen is on her nest," said Big with a satisfied sigh. She clicked her fingers, and before Grace had even sat down, she'd ordered them both a cocktail. "You need fortification, Grace," she told her firmly. "Never mind those hyenas. They're all so jealous of you, as well they might be. They have not an ounce of talent between 'em." "They're all right," Grace replied. "Believe me, I've encountered far worse." "I'm sure you have. British women make those four look positively tame." Grace laughed. "Oh, I don't care what people say behind my back, as long as they're friendly to my face. The trouble with British women is they're much too outspoken, and I do hate confrontation." "I prefer the British way, if that's the case. If people have something to say, they should say it to your face and not behind your back. They should have the courage of their convictions or not speak out at all. Evelyn Durlacher is a terrible old wooden spoon, and I'm quite prepared to tell her so. She should be ashamed of some of the trouble she's caused on this island with her stirring. It's as if she goes around looking for things to gossip about. The smugness of the woman is intolerable. She has placed herself so high on her pedestal, the fall will be devastating." The waiter placed their cocktails on the table with a china bowl of nuts. Big thrust her fat, bejeweled fingers into the bowl and grabbed a fistful of pistachios. Her face was deceptively gentle, with a wide forehead, full, smiling lips, and spongy chins that gave her the look of a gentle grandmother. But her eyes were the colour of steel and could harden in a moment, turning the unlucky recipient of her displeasure into a pillar of salt. When she looked at Grace, however, she did so with surprising tenderness. "So, what's Trixie up to, then? I imagine Evelyn has exaggerated the story for her own ends, anything to make her Lucy look good." Big inhaled through her nostrils, and the steel in her eyes briefly glinted. "If she knew half of what her Lucy gets up to, she'd keep her mouth shut." Grace sighed. "I'm afraid Evelyn's probably right. Trixie has fallen for a young man who plays in a band. I don't mind that. He's perfectly nice, I'm sure, but—" "You haven't met him?" "No." "Go on." "She told me she was going to stay the weekend in Cape Cod with her friend Susie." Big raised her eyebrows cynically. "Susie Redford? That girl's trouble, and wherever there's trouble, she's in the middle of it." "I would honestly say they're as bad as each other," Grace smiled indulgently. "But they're having fun, Big, and Trixie's in love with them."
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.